night on First at 9 this Saturday, the 26th of April 2025. Eternal rest. Pope Francis led to eternal rest at the Cathedral of St. Mary Major in Rome. Around 200,000 mourners pay final respects to departed pontiff. Clean Candy. Government to launch Clean Candy initiative to clean up the sacred city of Kandy following the special exposition of the tooth relic. Call for investment. President invites Tamil diaspora to invest in Sri Lanka's northern province. Further vows to take legal action against those who misappropriated public funds. The ballot race. Opposition leader pledges to establish grassroots defence committees under SJB-led local government authorities. Meanwhile, Sarvajana Balaya's Dili Javida claims the JVP is the only party engaged in corruption.
Cinec Campus Open Day. May masa 3 වෙනි දින උදෑසන 9 සිට Cinec Campus පරිශ්‍රයේදී.
This is Derana First at 9. Live from Studio 24 in Colombo.
Good evening and welcome to Derana First at 9, Sri Lanka's most trusted news source. I'm Tatyara Naika joining you live with the latest in Sri Lanka and around the world. We begin with your top story. Pope Francis was laid to eternal rest today at the Basilica of St. Mary Major in Rome. He is the first non-European pontiff in over 1,200 years who brought the plight of the world's most marginalized back to the center of the Roman Catholic Church's attention during his 12-year papacy from 2013 to 2025, earning him the moniker the People's Pope. Pope Francis, the first Latin American leader of the Roman Catholic Church, died on the 21st of April, aged 88 at his residence in the Vatican's Casa Santa Marta, with 1.4 billion Catholics around the world mourning his death. His remains were taken to St. Peter's Basilica in Rome on the 23rd of April, where they remained for 3 days, allowing the faithful to pay their respects. In the days that followed, about 250,000 mourners came to pay their final respects as his body lay in state inside St. Peter's Basilica. Pope Francis's wooden coffin was officially sealed last night in a liturgical rite led by the Cardinal Camerlengo Kevin Farrell, the acting head of the church. The ceremony, which took place behind closed doors, included several short songs, spoken prayers and a moment of silent prayer. In keeping with tradition, the Camerlengo placed several possessions inside the coffin before sealing it, including the Pope's pallium, the long white robe he wore, coins minted during his pontificate, and a deed summarizing the highlights of his tenure. Today, the funeral mass began as the coffin was brought out in solemn procession from St. Peter's Basilica just after 1:30 p.m. local time. About 200,000 people participated in the funeral service in St. Peter's Square, which lasted around 2 hours. Giving the homily, Italian Cardinal Giovanni Battistari, the Dean of the College of Cardinals, described Pope Francis as a pope among the people with an open heart towards everyone. Numerous world leaders and royals gathered in Rome for Pope Francis's funeral, including US President Donald Trump, Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky, and French President Emmanuel Macron. Additionally, Prince William of Britain and former US President Joe Biden attended the ceremony. Sri Lankan Minister of Foreign Affairs Vijitha Herath represented the government at the funeral of His Holiness Pope Francis. Following the conclusion of the Mass, Pope Francis's coffin was taken back into St. Peter's Basilica to the sounds of a bell tolling. Pope Francis, who dedicated over 70 years of his life to his commitment to poverty, peace and nature, was laid to eternal rest at the Basilica of St. Mary Major. After the death of a pope, the Vatican enters a transitional period, and after about 15 to 20 days, cardinals below the age of 80 convene at the Sistine Chapel in Vatican City, which is sealed off, to elect the new pontiff through a secret ballot. 135 cardinals out of 252 worldwide are eligible to participate in what is known as the papal conclave. Voting takes place in up to 4 rounds a day until a candidate wins 2/3 of the vote. Ballots are burned, and for every unsuccessful vote, black smoke is released from the Sistine Chapel. Once the next pope is successfully elected, white smoke emerges from the chapel. In Sri Lanka, a national day of mourning was observed today. The Ministry of Public Administration, provincial councils and local government informed secretaries and officials of ministries and departments to lower the national flag at half-mast at all government offices. European Union GSP Plus monitoring mission is scheduled to visit Sri Lanka from the 28th of April to the 7th of May 2025 to take stock of progress in the fulfillment of conditions linked to the granting of Generalized Scheme of Preferences Plus, commonly known as the GSP Plus trade preferences. The European Union representatives are slated to hold discussions with government officials, politicians, civil society, business associations, trade unions, and will also make site visits. In a statement, the European Union added that this procedure is part of the regular biannual monitoring to which the Sri Lankan government has committed to in order to benefit from the GSP Plus. The special exposition of the sacred tooth relic of Lord Buddha was held for the 9th consecutive day at the Temple of the Tooth Relic today, with over 111,000 devotees gathering in Kandy to venerate one of the most sacred Buddhist relics in the world. Meanwhile, the government revealed plans to initiate a Clean Kandy initiative tomorrow to clean the sacred city of Kandy following the conclusion of the exposition.
Despite announcement by authorities urging the public not to arrive in Kandy for the City Dalada Vandanava, the special exposition of the sacred tooth relic continued to attract massive crowds for the 9th consecutive day today. As usual, the special exposition commenced at 11 a.m. Over 400,000 devotees gathered in Kandy, forming long queues to pay homage to one of the most sacred Buddhist relics in the world. Thousands of devotees are seen in queues centered along the 3 access routes from DS Senanayaka Vidya to the temple's entrance, from Ratubokkuwa through Sangaraja Mawatha to the main entrance of the temple, and from Ratubokkuwa through the temple grounds to the main entrance. The Dansal, organized by the Temple of the Tooth Relic and several other parties, continue to cater to the devotees arriving at the premises to venerate the sacred tooth relic. With large number of devotees gathering to venerate the sacred tooth relic, concerns have been raised over waste management in the sacred city of Kandy, as those remaining in queues were seen disposing waste indiscriminately. Owing to this situation, several voluntary groups engaged in cleanups in Kandy today. Meanwhile, a cleanup project is expected to commence tomorrow following the conclusion of the City Dalada Vandanava.
Clean Kandy කියන ව්‍යාපෘතියක් කරන්න වෙනවා. ඊට දලදා දැක්ම හවස 5:30ට අවසන් වෙනවා. ඒ වෙලාවේ ඉඳලා මේක පටන් ගන්නවා. පාසල් 61ක් වහලා තිබුණා. 24 අපි සඳුදාම ශිෂ්‍යයන්ට ආයෙන්න කියලා කියනවා. නමුත් ඊටු 37 අපිට සුද්ධ කරන්න සිද්ධ වෙන නිසා අපි මේ පාසල් පටන් ගන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන අඟහරුවා දෙක. ඒ වගේම ඉදිරි කාලයේදීවත් තාක්ෂණය පාවිච්චි කරලා මේ පැමිණෙන සංඛ්‍යාව මේ පැමිණීමට පෙර අපිට යම්කිසි අදහසක් ගන්න තිබුණා නම් මීට වඩා හොඳට මේ කළමනාකරණය කරගන්න තිබුණා කියලා අපි තාමත් විශ්වාස කරනවා.
සිනෙක් කැම්පස් ඕපන් ඩේ මැයි මාස 3 වෙනි දින උදෑසන 9 සිට සිනෙක් කැම්පස් පරිශ්‍රයේදී.
President Anura Dissanayake extended invitations for the Tamil diaspora to invest in Sri Lanka, particularly in the large-scale industrial park slated to be established in Mankulam in the northern province. Speaking at a public rally today, the head of state vowed to initiate legal action against those embezzled and misused public funds. Another public rally of the National People's Power ahead of local government elections was held this morning in Puthukadirupu in the Mullaitivu district under the patronage of President Anura Dissanayake.
ඒ ජනාධිපති ඡන්දෙද කවුද ඉල්ලුවේ? ටෙලිෆෝනෙන් ඉල්ලුවේ.
Who were the candidates who contested the presidential election last year? The one who contested the election under the banner of the telephone was the son of a former president. The one who contested from the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna was also a son of a former president. And the one who contested under the banner of the gas cylinder was the nephew of a former president. They never thought that this would happen to them. What did the people do last time? For the first time, people elected a government that won't try to embezzle or misuse public funds. However, some raised concerns if we will take any legal action against individuals who misappropriated public funds under past administrations. We will definitely initiate legal actions against them and hold them accountable. For the first time in history, we have established a government where the law will be implemented impartially regardless of their stature. What should be done to further strengthen this administration? Everyone should cast their vote for the National People's Power on the 6th of May and provide us the authority of all local councils. We intend to build an international cricket stadium in Jaffna and host an international cricket match at the stadium during our tenure. During our time, the country was embroiled in a civil war that lasted for 30 years. But let us ensure that the same thing doesn't happen to our future generations. A majority of people from the area live overseas. They also earn a significant income. We invite them to return to Sri Lanka and commence investments here. We are hoping to establish a large-scale industrial park in Mankulam. We invite the Tamil diaspora to join us in this endeavour to develop the country we were born in, regardless of where you currently reside.
මේ රට හදන්න සහභාගී වෙන්න කියලා අපි ඩයස්පෝරාවේ කට්ටියට කියනවා.
Opposition leader Sajjit Premadasa pledges to establish ground-level defence committees at local government institutions in which the SJB secures victory in collaboration with police and security forces. Speaking at a public rally, opposition leader Premadasa claimed the government is not capable of strengthening the legal system of Sri Lanka and pledged that his party will defeat the criminal culture in Sri Lanka. A public rally of the Samage Jana Balawegaya in view of the upcoming local government elections was held in Wattala under the patronage of party leader and opposition leader Sajjit Premadasa.
Today's society has been taken over by murderers, thieves and organized criminals. Laws are not properly implemented in this country which has been taken over by murderers. How many lives were lost during the past 2 or 3 months? This government is not capable of strengthening the law. Some might wonder how the local government election impacts the law and peace. We will launch a new initiative to protect the law and peace within our local government institutions through the establishment of ground-level defence committees, including civil defence committees and community defence committees under the leadership of the public in collaboration with police and security forces. We can defeat this criminal culture.
Meanwhile, the United National Party's Palinda Nuwara organizer and several UNP local government authority representatives of the Kaluthara district extended their support to the Samage Jana Balawegaya for upcoming elections. Leader of the Sarva Jana Balaya MP Dilip Jayavira claims that the JVP is deceiving the people of the country while misusing public funds. Addressing a Sarva Jana Balaya public rally in Ambatale today, Jayavira asserted that the JVP is the one political party that is officially involved in corruption.
The island-wide series of awareness programs organised for the Sarva Jana Balaya's local government election candidates was held today in Ambatale under the patronage of party leader parliamentarian Dilip Jayavira.
The slogan of the NPP is against corruption. The NPP claims to stand against corruption, yet behind their slogan, they are misusing party funds within a corrupt political system. So far, there have been corrupted individuals within Sri Lankan political parties who engaged in corruption. But the only party that officially engages in corruption is the JVP. They have amassed a vast amount of wealth out of reach from the tax net, which they are using to privately enjoy a life of luxury. Not only that, they use these funds to manipulate public opinion, betraying the expectations of the innocent citizens of the country. They squander the funds on tribal personal desires. A clear message should be given to the leaders of the NPP that we stand firmly against the politics of deception. This message must be delivered by voting for the Sarva Jana Balaya in the upcoming elections. This is a national imperative.
Welcome back. Minister of Health and Mass Media Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa states that the 1,000-year-old historical connection between Sri Lanka and India has fostered a rich and multifaceted exchange within the media landscapes of the two nations. Speaking at an event in Colombo, he emphasized that Sri Lankan media and journalism must adapt to rapid technological and digital advancements with agility while upholding the highest standards of journalistic integrity.
Media Fest 2025, the first ever Media Fest held in Sri Lanka, organised by the Sri Lanka India Media Friendship Association, commenced yesterday in Colombo under the patronage of Minister of Health and Mass Media Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa and Acting High Commissioner of India to Sri Lanka Dr. Satyajal Pandey.
The face of journalism and media is undergoing a massive transformation. The interface of AI and technology with media is only beginning to express itself. At the same time, the traditional print and AV media is coming under sharp stress and scrutiny against the agility of new age media. On our part, strengthening media and journalism capacities has been one of our focus areas of cooperation. During the recent visit of our Prime Minister to Sri Lanka and the earlier visit of His Excellency President Anurakumar Dissanayake, 1,000 and 1,500 training slots, respectively, for Sri Lanka were announced. Naturally, these would include training for media professionals and journalist friends from Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka and India shape a deep and lasting bond rooted in thousands of years of shared history. This historical connection has fostered a rich and multifaceted exchange within our media landscape. Today, we stand at a critical juncture in the evolution of media. The rapid advancement of technology, the rise of digital platforms, and shifting audience consumption patterns present both challenges and opportunities. It is therefore imperative that we adapt to these changes with agility and uphold the highest standards of journalistic integrity. We firmly believe that a well-informed citizenry is the cornerstone of a strong and resilient nation.
The Department of Examination announced today that the result of the 2024 GCE Advanced Level Examination has been released online. With that, here's a look at more news across the island in brief.
An individual was injured in a shooting incident in the Heenatiana area of Karunayaka this morning. Two unidentified assailants had fled the scene after opening fire. Police are conducting further investigations to identify the suspects. Meanwhile, the police stated that a total of 28 candidates and 111 affiliates of political parties have been arrested in relation to complaints pertaining to the 2025 local government elections. Arrests have been made based on 259 complaints in relation to flouting of election laws and 71 incidents of a criminal nature. In the meantime, the police announced that a haul of nearly 500 kilograms of seized heroin will be incinerated in Puttalam on the 28th of April. The haul of heroin will be obtained from the Colombo High Court and transported to the cement factory in Puttalam. The handover of the narcotics is scheduled to take place in the presence of Minister of Public Security and Parliamentary Affairs Ananda Vijaypala, Ministry officials and the Acting Inspector General of Police Priyantha Veerasurya.
Now in your business news, the Joint Apparel Association Forum extended its appreciation to the government of Sri Lanka for prioritizing discussions that advance equitable and mutually beneficial trade relations between Sri Lanka and the United States. JAF also emphasized that any future tariff arrangements agreed upon should reflect parity with those offered to other apparel production nations, ensuring a level playing field for Sri Lankan exporters. The organization also urged both governments to consider the long-term sustainability of Sri Lanka's apparel industry. JAF further stated that it was looking forward to continued dialogue between the two governments and expressed full support for the future-oriented agreement that will enhance trade, attract investment and contribute to shared prosperity. Welcome back. Here's a look at some thoughts shared in the political arena today.
මේ තියෙන්නේ ශ්‍රී ලංකාව ඉන්දියාව සහ එක්සත් අරාබි එමිරාජ්‍ය අතර අත්සන් කෙරුණු ත්‍රිපාර්ශ්වික ගිවිසුම. මේ ගිවිසුම ශ්‍රී ලංකාව සහ ඉන්දියාව අතර තෙල් නලයක් කෙලීමත් ඒ වගේම ත්‍රිකුණාමලයේ කලාපීය බලශක්ති කේන්ද්‍රයේ ලෙස සංවර්ධනය කිරීමත්. මේ දෙවන ගිවිසුම එකඟ වෙන්නේ ඉන්දියාවේ මදුරායේ සිට ලංකාවේ මන්නාරම දක්වා දෙපැත්තටම විදුලිය ගෙන යා හැකි අධිබලති විදුලි සම්ප්‍රේෂණ රැහැනක් ඇති කිරීමටයි. මේ තිබෙන දිවිපාර්ශ්වික සහ අන්තර්ජාතික ගිවිසුම් සම්මුතියෙන් මායිම් නොකර අද ඉන්දියාව පාකිස්තානයට තර්ජනය කරනවා තමන්ගේ ගංගා වලින් පාකිස්තානයට ගලා එන ජලය අවහිර කරන බවට. විදුලිය සහ කයින්ජ තෙල් පිළිබඳ කවර කතාද? අද ඉන්දියාව පාකිස්තානයට කරන මේ තර්ජනයම ඇති මේ ගිවිසුම් දෙක ඉරා විසික් කරලා මේ ගිවිසුමේ ග්‍රහණයෙන් ශ්‍රී ලංකාවට මිදෙන්න.
අවුරුදු 70 තිස්සේ නොකරිච්ච දෙයක් තමයි දැන් මේ ආණ්ඩුව ඇවිල්ලා කරන්නේ. මේක අස්සම් කළා අඩුම තරමේ මේ පැත්ත හැරලා මේ පැත්ත හැරෙන්න උන්නේ මොකද්ද දැන් වෙලා තියෙන්නේ? අද ඉන්දියාව පාකිස්තානත් එක්ක යුද්ධයකට පැටලිලා
යම් කිසි හේකින් ඉන්දියාව පාකිස්තානයේ යම් යුද්ධමය වාතාවරණයකට ගියොත් අපි ඉන්දියාව එක්ක අස්සම් කරපු ගිවිසුම ප්‍රකාරව අපි කොතනද ඉන්නේ? ආණ්ඩුව මෙරට ජනතාවට කියන්න ඕනේ. ඒක අපිට ඉන්දියාවෙන් අහගන්න කියලා හරියන්නේ නැහැ. රටට නොකිය ඡන්දදායකට නොකිය රටේ මිනිස්සුන්ට නොකිය ආරක්ෂක ගිවිසුම් වලට එළඹුණා. ඒ කලාපීය සාමය බලාපොරොත්තු වෙච්ච ලංකාව කොතනද අපි හිටගන්නේ?
ඒක ලංකාවත් එක්ක අස්සම් කරපු ගිවිසුමේ මොකද්ද තියෙන්නේ කියලා අපි දන්නේ නැහැ. හැබැයි ඉන්දියාව යුද තත්වයකටපත් වෙනවා නම් මේ ආරක්ෂක ගිවිසුමේ තියෙන වැදගත්කම පිළිබඳව මම හිතන්නේ පාර්ලිමේන්තුව අපිව දැනුවත් විය යුතුයි.
දැන් ඊපෙරද මම දැක්ක කබීර් හෂිම් කියලා තියෙනවා මේ අවුරුදු දෙසැම්බර් මාසේ සජිත් ප්‍රේමදාස ජනාධිපති වෙනවා කියලා. මම කල්පනා කරා කොහොමද ඒක වෙන්නේ කියලා. මොකද මේ අවුරුද්දේ ජනාධිපතිවරණයක් නැහැ. අපට ජනතාව ජනාධිපති බලය දුන්නේ අවුරුදු කීයකටද? 5කට. තාම අවුරුද්දක්වත් ගෙවුන්නේ නැහැ. එතකොට කොහොමද සජිත් දෙසැම්බර් මාසේ ජනාධිපති වෙන්නේ? අපට තේරෙන්නේ නැහැ. වෙන රටක දන්නෙත් නැහැ.
ඇයි වෙන්න බැරිද? ගෝඨාභය රාජපක්ෂ මහත්තයා පත් වෙනකොට ගොඩක් අය කිව්වා ගෝඨාභය රාජපක්ෂ මහත්තයා අවුරුදු 20කට යවන්න බෑ කියලා. අවුරුදු එකමාරකින් ගෙදර ගියේ නැද්ද? ආර්ථික විශේෂඥයන් පැහැදිලිව කියලා තියෙනවා අපේ ණය ගෙවන්න නම් අපේ ආර්ථික වර්ධන වේගය 100% ඉක්මවා යන්න ඕනේ කියලා. හැබැයි ඊයේ පෙරේදාම ආසියානු සංවර්ධන බැංකුව සහතික කරලා කියනවා අපේ මේ වසරේ ආර්ථික වර්ධනය 3.5%කට වැඩි වෙන්නේ නැහැ කියලා. එතකොට අපේ ආර්ථික වර්ධන වේගය වැඩි වෙන්නේ නැත්නම් කොහොමද ණය පියවන්ට යන්නේ? යන්න බැරි වෙනකොට මේක ගන්න පුළුවන් හැකියාව තියෙන හොඳම කණ්ඩායම ඉන්නේ සජිත් ප්‍රේමදාස මහත්මයාට කියලා මම කියන්න කැමතියි. ඒ නිසා අපි ready.
And with that we wrap up tonight's edition of Ada Derana First at 9. Thank you. Have a great night.